Walking that bit on my toilet. Walking that bit with the O's. They bit it, they back, and they look, they chose.
Everybody, and welcome to another MX Bikes video. Today, guys, we are on a bike that I don't think anyone really rides, and that is the Husqvarna 350. Now, there's multiple 350s in this game. We got one for KTM, got one for the Husky. I think you might have one other one for the gas guy. So I think all the three Austrian bikes have a 350 version from the 450. And so 350 basically just not as much power in the bike. I've heard a lot of great things about 350s in real life. Now, I used to ride this bike actually a decent amount when I used to play with PD servers back in 2023. And I've had a lot of fun on it. So it's kind of just in between the 250 and 450 as far as power. And so I want to try this bike out because maybe it's the same speed as the 450. Maybe it's even better for me. Maybe it's lighter, more maneuverable. I have absolutely no idea. I feel like this is something that not a lot of people have tested. So we're going to test out this bike today in a race here at Paula, and we're going to see how I do. It's a track that I've actually been riding a decent amount recently, obviously getting ready for round one, which I believe I'm actually going to be racing EU for. I'm not 100% confirmed on that yet. I'm still kind of thinking about it, but we are going to see. Anyway, hit that submit that like button, guys, and let's get right into the video, boys. All right, so I've done a couple laps here just in the practice session here, and the sound of this bike is kind of boofed. I'm not sure if I have a sound mod on it or what, but it feels like the limiter's not hitting in the correct time. It's really weird. I don't know. I'm someone that's really weird with that type of stuff. I have to get used to the sound of the bike because I don't look down in the bottom right to shift really at all. I kind of just pay attention and just listen to it, but something about this bike does not sound right. So that is going to be an interesting thing when we get into this race. I'm not sure if I'm going to be too low of a gear, too high of a gear. I think I'm probably going to be a bit too high in these races, but we're gonna see. This track's actually pretty rutted, so I hope that they keep this this E-road for this race coming up here. I think it's gonna be pretty fun. And I just put my 450 setup on it, so it should do fine. The bike does feel much stiffer. That'd be kind of my only critique so far. Other than that, it does feel pretty similar. Obviously, it does have less power, but I mean, gee, I just launched that. Still feels pretty good. I think the sound is, I think, a lot of the reason why it feels like it has less power. I am not a huge fan of the sound. It really does feel like you combine the 450 and the 250 sound, but it just doesn't work right, and the limiter's weird. I don't know what's going on. But so far, pretty fun bike. Definitely lighter than the 450. And seems to handle really, really good. I think maybe a little too much rebound on the back end, so I might switch that up a little bit. Try to just soften the suspension a little bit, but other than that, bike's feeling pretty sweet. And I'm going to see if I can hit this big line here over the finish line. Third gear. Oh, not even close. I think I need to mess with the gearing too, so I'm going to get to that, and then we're going to get right into this race. Alright, boys, it's been a while since I recorded those first two clips. I ended up just booting up my own server, and I went in my Discord, and I added everyone and said join up. So if you guys are not in my Discord, the link is in the description. I'm going to start doing this a lot, alright? I'm going to put my Deddy up. I'm going to tell people to join. Just because, I don't know, I have an audience. People join up. If, you know, I want to do a certain video on a certain track, I might as well just do it that way. It makes it a lot easier, but, yeah, we're on the 350. I just put a different sound mod on it, so it's a little bit better. It kind of sounds like the old 250 sound mod that I used to use on the Kawasaki 250, I think, so I'm already kind of used to it, but we'll see how it does here. My fastest lap so far on this bike is a 59. I usually run consistent 56s on the 450, so we'll see if I can find a kind of an extra few seconds of speed in this race, but should be fun. Hopefully people don't try to take me out, and if people know who I am, I'm under an alias as per usual. Didn't really think about how the start would go. Oh wow, actually went really good. Do have a Gadar inside here though. It's gonna go over the rut. I kind of predicted that was gonna happen. We got Toby here, so I'm gonna go inside. Don't usually do that, but I just want this guy to cross jump me. I like to just check out here. I really just want to see what kind of lap times I can run. The track has a little bit of E-road on it, not too much, so it shouldn't affect lap times much at all. Oh, that triple's a little bit harder to hit. Mostly we're gonna be in third gear on this bike. It handles pretty good. I mean, the 450s, as we know, are very, very good at handling. They're not super heavy. Yeah, definitely this bike's definitely a lot lighter. Feels more like the 250, so I'm very interested to see how this thing rides. It might be no different than a 250, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe it's closer to the 450. Maybe it's even better somehow. We do also have to take into account that these pro tracks we're going to be racing are going to be much rougher than this track and the other TFC tracks as well that I've been riding recently. So just, you know, kind of keep that in mind if you've been riding these tracks. I think the pro tracks we're going to get starting next Friday is going to be, they're going to be a lot rougher, I would say. This track right here, honestly, is pretty realistic to what Paul is on, like, I don't even know, like a press day maybe. This track is not very rough. I remember last year a lot of people were complaining about it because of how hard it was, but maybe the bikes just weren't that good because it's an easy track these days on these bikes. I mean, it's like takes zero skill to ride around it, it feels like. Or maybe I've just put a ton of laps on it. I feel like I haven't ridden this track too much other than, you know, when it dropped last year and then a decent amount recently. But it's not a super hard track. It does have some little bumps that can catch you off guard. It also has this issue on the first lap, and it just happened. It says I have a 14-second gap. I definitely do not have a 14-second gap, but it gives people like a substantial amount of cuts on the first lap, even if they don't go off the track. It makes no sense. Surprised TFC never fixed that, to be honest with you. Apparently there was never a fix, at least that I don't remember. I do remember that being an issue, though, in pub lobbies, so I guess we'll take it. I don't know if we got many cuts and the people behind me did, but we currently have a 17-second gap already on second place, which is absolutely insane. So I guess let's just see how many people we can get to quit this race. That's probably what this is going to turn into. I did make it a 15-minute plus 2, so it is pretty long. And that's how I like motocross races in this game. I don't like when I join lobbies and it's a 6-minute race. It's just, that's not enough in motocross. You know, because everyone's pretty good at it, you know. It's like if you get a bad start, which happened to me yesterday. I got a pretty bad start, and I was just trailing behind this guy that was pretty fast, but I was like a second a lap faster than him. We were both super consistent, and if the race wasn't 6 minutes plus 2, it was more like 10 minutes plus 2, I probably would have caught him, and we could have had a little battle, but the races are just too short. And in motocross, when you get, you know, when you get a bad start or you get taken out or something, it takes a while to catch back up. Because, yeah, these bikes are so good and everyone's just so dialed in with the motocross. But so far, we've been riding pretty good here. Let's see if we can hit this big line I usually hit here. Nope. I think I was a gear too high there. We should be in second gear a little bit more. I usually ride a gear high. Like this bike, you probably don't want to do that. You want to stay in the correct gear. You can get away with stuff like that on the 450. I think that's why I'm actually pretty decent on the 450 and not so much the 250, is because you have to, your shifts have to be very, very good on a 250. You have to get all the power you can. I feel like I'm just not very good at that. Like, I shift up the third out of that corner there. Probably shouldn't have done that. I feel like I've had that issue since day one, though. I've never been able to fix it, and it's not like a horrible detrimental thing, especially in Supercross. It's not really an issue. But motocross, definitely a little bit more important, especially in sand tracks. I feel like that's why I'm not very good at sand tracks. Auto sit, that's one thing you could blame, but like I'm just not very good at getting in the right gear. So far, we're lighting this track up right now. The bike feels pretty damn good. I've been pretty consistent on it. I don't notice any differences, though. It really doesn't feel too different other than have, you know, a bit less power to it. In some sections, I don't know, it feels even quicker. We'll see what this lap time is. It's actually a pretty decent lap time. Probably lost a second or something right there. Have a second right there. That was not a good line. I OJ'd that. Grab this. This corner is super important. Ah, my back end kicked out. Got to finish this lap strong. 26-second gap now. Holy crikey, mate. We're riding pretty decent. Oh yeah, I'm in fourth gear here. 57.5. Wow. Wait a second, boys. That's pretty damn good for just getting on this thing. And that was not like a perfect lap by any means. I think we could easily run a 56 there. And my fastest lap ever on the 450 is a 54. and that was like at the end of a race, I was absolutely cooking a heater. But I usually run about 56s pretty consistently, so. Yeah, I don't know. 57.5, that's a pretty good lap for a bike that's less powerful, so. We're just going to keep sending it here, see if we can maybe get a 56. I think we definitely can. That's really interesting that it's not much slower than the 450. And it handles pretty damn good. I feel like my setup is not great. I'm probably going to have to try to hit someone up that knows a lot about suspension. Because I do think you're going to need a different setup for the 350 coming from the 450, because I just used the same setup. And I'm not sure that it's the best. It does feel pretty good, though. Oh, there's a little mistake there. Having a light bike is not great. It's when you get into those Boboso bounces. Feels very good in the corners. It feels like it's easy to control, and it turns much sharper. I mean, this jump right here is a pretty big jump, and it doesn't really struggle at all. Oh my goodness, it does feel a bit slippery, though. Might just be me, though. I mean, this track is pretty slick. It's also eroded. Oh, I am having a lot of trouble with that corner. Getting sent all around. I still feel like I'm not pushing super hard yet. This is definitely not going to be faster than the 57, right? Oh my goodness, that was a 57.3. That was quicker and not a great lap there. Wait a second, boys. All right, I'm going to really focus up this lap, try to get a 56. Need my boy to move. All right, thank you. Turn. Real this. Dude, I feel so dialed on these tracks. Like, it's going to be kind of frustrating to move to these newer tracks and have them be like a lot different. I really don't know what we're going to get with Stoney doing the hype maps and stuff. It's going to be really interesting. I don't know too much about Paulo, though. I mean, I hear he gets really rough, but yeah, watching press day yesterday, because they're doing press day on Thursdays now this year, which I think is pretty sick. I think they're doing that for every motocross round. Maybe it's just Paulo, but track looks so nice, you know, like there's basically no roughness. It just looks nice and smooth, and obviously it's going to change when it comes to race day. You're getting a lot of riders on that track, but yeah, I'm going to be very interested to see how rough that track is. We're going to go off the track here. Definitely a bit slippery. I feel the front end kind of doing some interesting things. Another thing I'm noticing, though, is it definitely can turn much sharper and not lose the front end. I don't know if it's... I feel like it's like the collision box of it or something feels different. I could be completely wrong, but... like I'm not clipping handlebars as much. I'm not clipping the forks. Feels very smooth. And to run a 57 like that, I mean, that's pretty effortless 57s. I feel like that's pretty crazy, dude. I mean, I don't know. I might have found something here, so. Interesting. Running the lappers now, and track's getting fairly rutted, so I feel like running a faster lap is going to be really hard to do. Oh. These first few sections, stay up. Alright, that's not ideal, but we need to rebound somehow. I need to get that time back. Have to send it extra hard now. I'd like someone who's fast to test this. Like, really get on a track, rut it up a little bit, get on the 450, try it out, and then get on the 350. And just kind of see, when you go as fast as you can, if you can get them to be somewhat similar. Because I really think this bike would be more consistent. You're not going to lose traction as much, I would think, because the power is going to be a bit more smooth, not as punchy and strong like the 450. And it's a little bit lighter as well, which can help with maneuvering corners. And dude, the lappers are so nice. What the hell? I've never had a race where lappers are this nice. This is very rare. So thank you to all my subscribers that joined this and have been respectful so far. I do appreciate it. I feel like we got a very good community here. A bunch of good people. That's pretty cool to see. I think they've probably seen my videos where I get pissed at lappers. Oh my goodness. Oh, almost tucked there. We're gonna get more cuts. That's a bit unfortunate. Maybe we don't get cuts, we'll see. I don't think this will be quicker than a 57. Maybe though, if we can do good on this last section here. No. Probably not. I feel like this is just a skill issue. It's not even the bike at this point. I feel like I'm just losing focus. This has been a pretty long race. We've still got like 4 more laps. But, yeah, I'm really enjoying this bike right now. Very fun. And enjoyable. We've lapped all the way up to 9th, it seems. Pretty crazy. Not a lot of people have left, which I'm surprised at, so that's also a W. Do not leave races, guys. Stick to the end. Don't get frustrated. Just ride around. Trust me, I've had races in the last few days because I've been racing a lot recently where I've just gotten terrible starts and I could easily just quit the race, but I just ride it out and usually I can get back up to top 3, which still pisses me off. I shouldn't be getting 3rd in a, you know, an online race that's just got regular people in it, but it is what it is. It happens. So E-Road's also feeling pretty good. I got it at 0.25. Doesn't seem to be too harsh. Seems to be pretty smooth. Cooking so far this lap. I love railing this corner and flying up this. Alright, see if we can rail this. Oh, look at that. I drug handlebar on that inside and it pretty smooth. Didn't go down. I really think cornering's a lot better on this bike, for me at least. That line's still pretty easy. Alright, this should be a pretty good lap. I don't really remember if we made any mistakes early on. Last few corners are very tough, though. Come on, get moving. Come on. Stay low. There it is. Come on. Oh, we got cuts. Okay, we can look and see what that lap was, though, after. It'll still tell us the time. I don't really remember where I cut, though. It might have been early in the lap. Time has not expired yet. It'll expire this lap, and then we'll have 2 more after, so 3 more laps. Very long race. Holy crap. If you guys are still watching this video, comment 350. Just comment 350 in the comments. This is very interesting to me. I never see people ride the 350s. I used to ride this bike in Papiti servers. I loved riding it. I don't know why. It was always super smooth, super fun. You could keep up with both 250 and 450 bikes. You're just kind of in the middle, but it has such good handling. Almost endoed there. Grab that. Stay up. I'm on the limiter a lot. The sound mod definitely helped, man. That original sound is horrible. Alright, scrub this. These long sweeping 180s are so important. You have to rail these corners. This one too. This is where I'm getting cuts probably. I don't think I did that last lap, but I might have. Oh, I'm casing this. Survived it. Grab that. Lap might still count, so I'm just gonna send it just in case. Dude, this thing is so smooth in the rough. It's just, oh my goodness, man. No! A little kicker right there, I should have known. Damn it, dude, I think that would have been a good lap. Alright, well, we got 2 more chances. Let's get it. Grab this. Holy crap. This track is super fun, dude. This is one of TFC's best tracks, man. I love the way he did this track. I really just think the bikes didn't gel with it last year, and I do remember getting quite frustrated with it, but I think that was almost every track, and yeah, the game definitely took a hit last year in popularity. I remember, yeah, it was not great. I think that the OEM team though figured a lot of stuff out. So tracks like this are super fun to ride. They are pretty easy though. I don't know. I think this next OEM update's going to be really interesting to see what they do. And it's probably going to piss some people off. I'm not going to lie. I think that's probably going to happen, but I think people just have to come around to it, and I'll have to do the same thing. I'll have to come around to it too, because people, you know, I think a lot of the newer players especially have probably been enjoying these bikes a lot because they are pretty easy to ride. Yeah, I mean, I can just rail these corners, just takes no effort on this thing. There's the freaking tuck as drug handlebar there. Need to ride that berm just a little bit higher. All right, got one more shot trying to beat that 57 in this Euro. That's not gonna be easy to do. Definitely possible though. Euro's definitely helping in a few of these corners. I love this right here, little square edge. Wish we saw that more in motocross tracks and supercross tracks in this game. Never really see ruts form like that. You have to design a little hip though into the rut, and I think in this game, it's a pretty viable option on any track, even a supercross track. All right, let's see what we can do here. Come on. All right, we got that corner good. A wheelie through this. Slow it down. We're Gucci. Drill this. Oh my goodness, that guy scared me. Fade out. Okay, we took a good line there. That might have saved me a little bit. Fourth gear, that's not ideal. Scrub that. Scrub that. Come on, here we go. A few more sections. My hand's getting sore, bro. This never really happens in bikes. Oh, that's not a good angle. Alright, well, we gotta use all the speed now. Holy, I don't know how I just saved that. I'm scared now about dragging handlebar. Still good though. Grab this, shift down, sit down. Fade here, scrub that. Come on. Speed through here. Come on, baby. Holy. It's gotta be a 56. No? Alright, well, either way, that was a great race. I love this bike. This bike is a huge surprise to me. Yeah, so the 57.3, I'm gonna look and see what our laps were. So the one that didn't count was actually a 57.9, and then this recent one was a 57.8. And our first sector was actually the fastest we ever hit it with a 34.7, almost identical to the first lap that counted. But yeah, you can see the consistency here was pretty good, especially in T2, which is a pretty wide open section. But even T1, even when we made mistakes, we're still running 35. So yeah, that was a fun race. Hopefully everyone that joined had fun. A lot of people left in the race, but yeah, we low-key went crazy. We gapped everyone by almost a minute. So yeah, I'm ready for outdoors, and I'll see you guys in the next video. 350 is pretty good.